We're going to go ahead and get started a little bit early here this evening to respect everyone's time. We want to welcome you to our annual retiring staff reception tea. This is the program that is now about to get underway. I have Dr. Tucker, Miss Reed representing the School Board of Education, Angie Reed, who will join us and introduce our retirees in just a moment. But to get us started, it is tradition that we will hear from the Liberty High School Chamber Choir under the direction of Dr. Rika Harris. They will perform the national anthem and then perform an arrangement titled Without a Song. So I turn it over to the Liberty High School Chamber Choir. Thanks for being here. And if our audience could please stand at this time.
Whose broad stripes and broad
Always a great way to start this program by hearing from the Liberty High School Chamber Choir under the direction of Dr. Rika Harith. As they exit, let's give them another big round of applause. I also like to thank so many that make today possible, and another group that played some great music as we enjoyed the social period this evening would be the Liberty High School String Ensemble under the direction of Michelle Davis, and they are still with us here. As most of you well know, a lot of these are senior students, and they are extremely busy right now. I know many of them are headed to another event, various events here this evening, so we appreciate their time, especially considering many of them actually finished up classes in Liberty Public Schools just a few days ago. So we appreciate, again, them for being here. Other thank yous, I want to thank our Retirement Reception Committee, and this group has been, I think, together longer than the Beatles. Jill Mullen, Lynn Martin, Greg Meese, Carrie Gabriel, Emily Presser, Julie Moore. We were talking before this event that it's not going to be long before one of us is retiring. So don't know who that one will be, but appreciate that committee. Of course, Lynn Martin in our communication department, she drives so much of this. Our retirees, I'm sure, have communicated with her throughout this, so appreciate Lynn for your help. Want to thank our LPS Nutrition Services Department under the leadership of Vaughn Goliford. Some of you probably enjoyed some of their delicious food and beverage before this began. Let's give them a round of applause here this evening. Have to thank Niles Media Group, Jeff Knoll, Darren Whitley for not only recording this event for playback in the coming days, but also for recording many retirement messages the last few weeks. Appreciate all their efforts. And just have to thank everyone here at South Valley Middle School. Again, Principal Jill Mullen, Assistant Principal Whitney Weekly, all the staff from custodial across the board for making the extra effort to host this event. So let's give those folks a round of applause. Thanks, Jill. And I never have done this before, but I think it's fitting as I get ready to turn the program over to Dr. Tucker and Ms. Reed, is the fact that I want to thank our 14 retirees for being here today and all the service that you've provided our students, not only in Liberty Public Schools, but maybe in another school district. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of years of service combined out of this group that's not only in this group, sorry. I heard the snickers from the back. I hope that's one of the last with me at the podium this evening. But no, we just appreciate everything that you have done and will continue to do and the impact that you make. So as you can see, we have 14 bells. It's a tradition here in Liberty Public Schools as we hand the retirement bells out to our retirees. In a moment, we will invite the first 5 to come to the stage. We have 5 seats for you here. Our superintendent will speak and then be joined by Ms. Reed from our Board of Education that is so kind to be with us and take time to assist in introducing our retirees here this afternoon. And we will also periodically have a few special retirement messages that a few of our retirees were so kind to record for us. So, having said that, at this time, before Dr. Tucker takes the podium, I'm going to invite Miss Jerry Alviso, Elsa Beck, Dennis Blocklinger, Greg Castle, and Nancy Doherty. If you would make your way to the stage and be seated, we will learn about you in just moments. But at this time, I'm going to introduce our Superintendent of Liberty Public Schools, Dr. Jeremy Tucker. Go right into it. Yeah.
Well, good evening. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations to each of our retirees. There's a lot of thoughts that I'm sure are circulating this time of year as families wrap up perhaps K-12 experiences and journeys as they get ready to celebrate graduation on Sunday. Similarly, as new families entering into that journey start onboarding their children as kindergartners as they get ready for next year. And so as we think about this season, particularly in the spring, it's full of all sorts of emotions and thoughts. And so I was reflecting on this evening and this event. What a tremendous testament to every single one of our retirees and the impact that you have had in a variety of ways, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's as an administrator, whether it's as a support staff. A couple months ago when we celebrated a community breakfast, we shared an update in respect to the things going on in our school district. And we did something a little bit different. We wanted to highlight students. And I used an example, and I often go to this, and I think about each of those students that was here this evening, whether they're in the choir or whether in the orchestra, the ensemble. There are people that are not visible that have invested in their talents and what they're able to do as young people. Just as there are people that are investing in the lives of our young students that are here this evening. But I want to change that picture for you for a second. And I want to use our retirees in a similar fashion, but it's really to be able to, let's say, envision them all lined up here at the front, or perhaps as they're going to do in here just a few moments as everyone gathers to ring their bell, symbolizing school's out. But if you'll think with me for a second, if I take that picture and rather than propping them up and saying, look at all the people that invested in them, what if we were to fill this room? We probably couldn't handle it. But what if we were able to fill a location with all of the lives that you all have touched in terms of the impact? And kind of piggybacking on the song earlier, I do not know why the grass grows. I do not know why the rain falls. You may not always hear the follow-up, the stories of the students, of the families, of the lives in which you've impacted. But we know this, that when it does come back around and you do hear how students are doing, whether it's Isaac Epley, as Dr. Olstad and I were talking about earlier, who followed up with a brief note saying how he was doing, or whether it's an adult who later on comes and says, you may not remember me, but my name is Jeremy Tucker and I was in your class, or an example like that. What a tremendous impact and what a tremendous picture that is as we think about your life and we think about the impact that you've had, not only in Liberty Public Schools, but in working with young people and working with your peers. So we celebrate you. The other thing I wanted to share is this evening we've got a lot of family. We've got a lot of peers, teachers that were colleagues alongside some of you, other administrators that are here to celebrate with you. I want to extend a thank you to families, to spouses, to children who have certainly weathered a lot, I'm sure, as they've kind of learned to navigate your career and your path in this district and in other districts. So it's here really this evening to celebrate all that you've done over the course of the last several years. The interesting thing about tonight is we often hear about the stories that are what's next. And what I'm amazed by as we celebrated the group last year was the plans that you all have beyond retirement. I don't think you're going to sit quietly. You're going to stay active. You're going to do traveling. You're going to do all sorts of things. You're going to tend to your garden. You're going to whitewater raft, whatever the case may be. But we look forward to hearing what's the rest of the story as you look to your next season of life. So on behalf of Liberty Public Schools and our Board of Education, congratulations. We do want to shift. At this point in time, we have our first round of honorees this afternoon. And so we're going to dive right in, and Angie, Reed, and I are going to tag team this. So I'm going to turn it over. You want to do the first one?
Sure, I'll do the first one.
I'm going to turn it over to her to get us started, and we'll tag team with the presentation of the bells and reading of what was included in your excerpts.
My 5-year anniversary for retiring. Oh yeah, because I'm not as tall as you guys.
Some adjustments, sorry.
So, Jerry Alviso. Did I say that right? Okay. He has worked for LPS for a total of 17 years at Shoal Creek, Alexander Donovan, Franklin, South Valley Middle, and Discovery. You have been around. Jerry was born in Mountain View, Missouri. She considers Marshall, Missouri to be her hometown. However, she has lived in Liberty for almost 30 years now. Jerry graduated from high school at Marshall High School in Marshall, Missouri. Her special memories are when I try to come up with a special memory specific incident, or humorous story, my mind starts running a fast-forward movie down memory lane. When you work with young people, very few days don't have at least one good belly laugh. Required if you're in education, which I've been told is as good as a sit-up. When I worked as a one-on-one at Franklin, many staff members conspired to hide my student who used a walker or wheelchair. She loved this special game, and I was often asked, "Miss Alviso, have you lost someone?" Another time, I was helping an 8th grader who absolutely did not want to take a test. After much grumbling, he finally completed the front side. I turned his paper over so he could finish the test. He jumped out of his chair and yelled, "There's a back!" You may have heard him at the Edmond Center. I learned then that saving paper is not always a good idea. Her interests and hobbies include reading, Royals baseball, good for you, and travel. Her retirement plans include her husband is retired and we plan to volunteer, travel, and spend a lot of times with our kids and grandkids. Do you have any special people that you would like to introduce? Where's your family? Wave. Okay, you're in the front row. Jerry, congratulations.
You might call Jeremy to come up and stand next to the podium.
Oh, okay. Elsa, you're next up, and you're coming to stand.
Okay.
You are.
We're gonna mix it up on you. So, Elsa Beck, library paraprofessional at Heritage Middle School, began employment with Liberty Public Schools on October 2nd, 1988. Has worked for Liberty Public Schools for a total of 29 years. Has worked 32 years altogether in education. Elsa was at Heritage, also Liberty Junior High School for that 29-year period. In 2015, she filled in for the German teacher on maternity leave at Liberty Middle School and Discovery. And in 2016, she was at Liberty Middle School as a rotation paraprofessional. She was born in Dittwar, Germany. Did I say that right? Okay. Dittwar. All right. But considers Holt to be her hometown. As far as alma maters, Elsa went to an 8-year grade school in the German school system, then attended a 3-year occupational school in Germany, graduating as a certified dental assistant. Her special memories include, I had the pleasure to work with art club students with the help of the art teachers and painted the saltfish wall while it was still Liberty Junior High School. Interests include painting, small whimsicals, woodworking, knitting and crocheting, and do-it-yourselfing. Okay. DIYing. Retirement plans include travel, sightseeing, especially in Germany. As far as your family here this evening, you have family members
My
around?
husband is here, and my supporting teachers from the junior high, my math teacher. and
Awesome.
science teacher.
Husband and some peers from the junior high level, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Dennis Blocklinger, come on down. There's Greg. Dennis is a Liberty High School Industrial Technology Department Chair. That's a lot of words. LPS Driver Ed Coordinator, PLTW Instructor, sponsor for ACE Mentoring and Technology Education Association of Missouri. He began his employment in Liberty Public Schools in 1988. Wow. He worked for LPS for a total of 30 years, all of them at Liberty High School. Dennis was born in Concordia, Kansas, and considers Liberty to be his hometown. His alma maters include Concordia High School, Pittsburgh State University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Arts and a Bachelor of Science in Physical Education. His graduate school was Central Missouri State University, where he received a Master's of Science in Industrial Vocational Education. His special memories are, as long as I live, I will never forget how this LPS family, friends, and our church came alongside my family as we suffered the loss of our oldest son, Zachary Grant Blocklinger. You held us up with your prayers, your love, and support. You were and are an anchor for my soul. Thank you for making Liberty what it is, our home. Today, May 10th, would have been Zach's 24th birthday. His interests and hobbies include loving to ride expensive bicycles in the dark with dear friends that suffer from the same mental illness as I do. Each of these bikes have been named, however. My wife has another name for each of them. I'm sure she does. Retirement plans include to start his second career. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I think I have another 10 years of something in me. Something. Congratulations.
Thank you much.
Mr. Greg Castle, if you would come on up. Greg has served as the school counselor at Liberty High School and the district counseling director. He began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 1990, has worked for the district and been in education for a total of 28 years. 19 years at Liberty High School, 2 years at the District Administration Center, 4 years at Liberty Junior High School, and prior to that, 3 years at Liberty Middle School. Greg was born in Dubuque, Iowa, considers Dubuque his hometown. His alma maters include Dubuque Senior High School and the University of Iowa, where he received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Secondary Education certification. Graduate work was at the University of Central Missouri, a Master's of Science, Counseling Psychology, and respect to special memories, watching the Liberty community's amazing support of the 1998 Boys State Championship team. Special memory there. Interests and hobbies include running, reading, visiting unique coffee shops, man after my own heart, and his retirement plans include working as a school counselor at Olathe West High School, of which Brooks told me is a little bit of a drive.
You my Uber driver in the morning.
Oh,
and
that's
in the
good.
afternoon.
I hadn't thought of Uber. And then you want to introduce your family real quickly? I know they're back there.
Sure. My wife Julie, and my son Brooks, and my oldest brother Kevin.
Congratulations to Mr. Greg Castle.
Nancy Doherty. I'm so glad she came. Nancy is a parent educator for parents as teachers. She began employment with LPS in 1986, has worked for 18 years for LPS. She started out the Liberty Kindergarten building. The parents as teachers' offices were in the hallway to the boiler room. Was with the Early Childhood Center when it was at the Administration Center on Conister, is ending her career at the Early Childhood Center where it is now. Nancy was born in Monet, Missouri, considers Aurora, Missouri to be her hometown. Her alma maters are Aurora High School and the University of Missouri at Columbia, where she earned a Bachelor of Science in Child and Family Development. Her graduate school was the University of Missouri in Kansas City, where she took some classes in early childhood. Her special memories were 1986. Very good that you can think back that far. It's her first year as Parents for Teachers in Missouri. I was the only parent educator in Liberty, trying to figure out how to create a strong PAT program. I've been able to see the program from its infancy to today and have gotten to know and support many families for many years. I have loved my job. I am on my second generation with some families. Wow. Yes. Her interests and hobbies include her family and her 2 amazing grandsons, her faith in church, reading, travel, growing flowers, friends, cooking, and baking. Retirement plans include no paperwork or reports. Good on that one. Traveling, reading, spending time with friends and family, spending time at the lake. Would you like to introduce your family and friends?
My husband Tim, my son Matt, and daughter-in-law Christina, and one of those amazing grandsons, Logan. And then I have some former parent educators with me too, because, Yvonne Nixon and I shared the abandoned hallway at the kindergarten building a long time ago. And then Tammy Brisendine's here, who has the longest tenure in parents as teachers now. And then Becky Gossett, who is one of us. And we have a spouse of one of our parent educators, Erin Money. So.
So you're surrounded. Well, congratulations.
So now we have a little break, so we'll excuse, I'll go ahead and get.
You can excuse.
All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. James, you're still to come. You five are excused. And I am going to introduce to the stage Mr. Robert Dillon, Miss Becky Gossett, Miss Lynn Harris, Miss Susan Lusky, and Miss Linda McCormick. If you'd please join us on stage. And then at this transition, I mentioned earlier we have some video messages from some of our retirees. We will play the first segment at this time, so if we could roll that clip and enjoy some memories, a trip down memory lane for some of our retirees. No worries. So what we'll do, if those five could come to the stage, and we will continue with the introduction of our retirees.
So the first of our next group is Mr. Rob Dillon. So if you would come on up, head custodian at Liberty Middle School, as well as at Liberty Academy. Mr. Dillon began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 2005, has worked for Liberty Public Schools for almost 13 years at Discovery, Liberty Academy, as well as LMS. Rob was born in Leavenworth, Kansas, considers Platte City, Missouri to be his hometown. His alma mater is Platte County R3 High School. Interests and hobbies include building and maintaining his 8,000-gallon koi ponds. That's a lot of fish. Retirement plans include they're selling their house in Kansas City and moving to Florida. See which retiree can beat that. And then Rob, you have anyone else that you'd like to introduce?
My wife Chris is right there. Awesome. And then my two co-partners right there, Steve and Greg.
Awesome. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations, Rob.
Thank you.
Becky Gossett. Come on down. Becky is the Executive Director of Special Programs at the District Administration Center. She began employment with LPS in 1994, has worked for LPS for a total of 24 years, 30 plus years altogether in education. She currently works at the District Administration Center. Before that, she worked at Support Services when the SPED office was there. She started at the Early Childhood Center as a teacher, parent educator, then principal. The Early Childhood Center moved locations 3 times while she was with them. They started out at the Missouri Street location, moved to the brand new building on Conister, then to its current location on 79th Street. Moving? Good for you. Becky was born in St. Joseph, Missouri. She considers St. Joseph and Liberty to be her hometowns. Her alma maters include Central High School in St. Joseph, William Jewell College here in Liberty, where she received her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education with Early Childhood and Special Education coursework for certification. Graduate school was at the University of Missouri at Kansas City, where she earned a Master of Arts in Educational Administration, Northwest Missouri State University, where she earned a Specialist in Education Superintendencies. Special moment. The people at LPS are wonderful. I'll carry many memories of genuine friendships made through working together, creating positive environments, resolving difficult problems, and celebrating the strengths of our students and staff. Every day at the Early Childhood Center was filled with excitement of one kind or another. The staff and students created a family atmosphere, which was a good thing on one special day. After saying goodbye to about 100 children and waving goodbye to 10 buses at the end of one day, I walked back into the building where one, only one, special teacher quietly pulled me aside to let me know of my awkward wardrobe malfunction. I had managed to tuck the back of my skirt into my tights after using the restroom prior to hurrying out to the bus line. A nightmare we all share. My ECC family will never let me live that one down. I love these people, especially that one. Interests and hobby include singing in the choir, travel, gathering with friends for dinner, walks with her husband Bill, their dog, and spending time with their grown children. Her retirement plans include more travel, more reading of fiction, more Pilates, also more volunteering with her church and in the community and enjoying things she is passionate about. Your family and friends, would you like to?
My husband Bill is here, and my dear friend Pam for about 40 years, my best friend. And lots of you, too. Thank you, Auntie. You're welcome.
What about?
We really contemplated whether or not to read Becky's script as is, but I didn't get the fortune of reading that one. Next up, we have Miss Lynn Harris. Come on down. Ms. Harris, Director of Orchestra at Liberty North High School, began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 2012. She has worked for Liberty Public Schools for a total of 6 years and in education for a total of 38 years. She's taught at both Liberty High School as well as Liberty North in the district. She was born in Corona, California, but considers Hutchinson, Kansas to be her home. Alma maters include Hutchinson High School, Fort Hays State University, where she received a Bachelor of Music degree, graduate school from Wichita State University. Interests and hobbies include reading, quilting, spending time with family and friends, and retirement plans include will do adjunct work adjudicating for the district and state music festivals in Missouri and Kansas, and will spend some time traveling. She is looking forward to helping out on her sister and brother-in-law's farm. Would you like to introduce anyone this evening?
I'd just like to say thank you for friends and colleagues, Andrew Lewin and Aaron Money, for being here this evening. Dr. Jacobs, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Susan. I'm not even attempting the last name. Lusky, okay. Susan Lusky, who is a 5th grade teacher at Shoal Creek Elementary, has worked for LPS for 7 years, all at Shoal Creek, has worked in education for a total of 17 years. She was born in St. Joseph, Missouri, but considers Kearney to be her hometown. Alma maters are Mid-Buchanan High School in Fawcett, Missouri, University of Missouri-Columbia, where she received her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. Interests and hobbies include music, playing the piano and singing, gardening, and mission work. Retirement plans include traveling, enjoying her 4 grandchildren, volunteer work at Children's Mercy, and church missions. Would you like to introduce?
My husband Jim is here, and my very supportive principal, Christy Bowman, my vice principal, Jamie Ackert, and my partner in crime in 5th grade, Suzanne Hudson.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, we have Linda McCormick, Certified Occupational Therapy Assistant at Manor Hill, Liberty Oaks, and Kellybrook. Ms. McCormick began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 1993. She has worked for Liberty for 26 years, 27 years total in the education field. She's served every school in the district except Epic. Manor Hill is the school she's been at the longest amount of time, and Liberty Oaks is also one of her main schools. Her office has been at Heritage for the last several years, and she loves it there. Linda was born in Kansas City, Missouri, but considers Liberty to be her hometown. Alma maters include Liberty High School, Central Missouri State University, now the University of Central Missouri, and then Penn Valley Community College. Degree is an Associates of Science in Occupational Therapy. Her special memories One thing that I will never forget is when a child stopped by our sensory room, where we have swings and ball pits, and remarked with a sigh, "Kids with disabilities are so lucky." I told him he was right. Interests and hobbies include travel and reading, and retirement plans. Linda hopes to spend more time in Arizona and traveling to national parks. Anyone you'd like to introduce?
Yes, my husband Jerry's here, my daughter Melissa, my parents Jim and Mary Crocker, my sisters Rhonda and Lisa, and my sister-in-law Natalie, and my little niece Adeline.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. That awesome group of 5, you're excused. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Let's try this one more time. And if it doesn't work, we're all about working through adversity, because I can promise you that these video messages will be available on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on Twitter in the days to come. So no worries if it doesn't work. Audio technician D. Rosecrans here in front. I'm going to wait to kill the lights until we have success. In the meantime, if we could have Lynn Pierce, Angela Rosheim, Catherine Weaver, and James Ralstead come to the stage. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Greg Castle, and I've really appreciated the 28 years in Liberty Public Schools that I've been able to serve. Would most like to thank my parents who showed me, modeled for me hard work and the right way to treat people, as well as my wife and 3 kids who have put up with me being gone lots of nights and weekends. But I was very fortunate when I moved here in '90 to work at the brand new Liberty Middle School, and then so appreciative to Keith Elmore, the late Keith Elmore, and Helen Hatridge for encouraging me to become a counselor, and then to Kendra Calloway for being my mentor the first few years of counseling, as she taught me, as she has so many others, what a quality counselor is. Also really appreciative to Dr. Jacobs and Keith for bringing me over to Liberty High School in 1997, and that's where I learned this is really the best place for me. And also want to thank all the wonderful counselors that I've worked with, K through 12 through the years, with special mention to Rob Fisher, Becky Starnes, and Tim Anderson for the great collaboration with district counseling leadership. I wish everyone well and so appreciate the opportunity I've had.
Hello, my name is Dennis Blocklinger. I teach at Liberty High School. I have been in this building, in this room, for 30 years, so it's gone by fast. I wanted to take a minute and thank administrators and colleagues. Too many to thank individually, but I would like to thank Dr. Jacobs and Dr. Adams specifically. Dr. Jacobs was my administrator for my first 15 years, and Dr. Adams for my last 15 years. And I've just appreciated all that they've done for me, and the mentoring and just the amazing support that I've had over the years through them. And then colleagues as well, just so many over the years, too many to thank once again, but it's just become such a wonderful family here at LPS. So thank you all so much for all that you've done and all that you mean to me. It's been a great career, and so thankful that I got my opportunity to be here at Liberty and LPS, and just thank you all for what you mean to me.
I'm Becky Gossett, and I am Executive Director of Special Programs for Liberty. And I sat down and tried to make a few notes about what I wanted to say about retirement and about having been here. And when I grabbed for paper, I found my nice little notepad that says Liberty Early Childhood Center and has a neat little drawing. And it just brought back really great memories of a little girl who wasn't speaking but began to draw, and was able to draw a picture of herself with her friend. And to me, that just said so much about what we were trying to do there with her and with all of the children. So that ranks right up there as one of my very favorite memories. I have other memories too. I have lots of memories of chatting with staff who come in early or stay late in order to tell an exciting story, or sometimes just give some information about themselves and share some things that are going on in their lives. I have lots of great memories of teachers who get super excited about the learning that their kids are doing, the learning and the new skills, and also their own learning and their own new skills. So those are some very favorite things as well. I love when students share and show enthusiasm for being at school and for learning. And I had a great example of that when a little guy came back on day 2 of preschool, and the bus doors opened. He was the first one there on the stairs, and he said, "I came back." And I love thinking about how kids sometimes realize, oh, I'm going to be doing this for a while, and that's okay with me. Another really great thing about having been here for so long is working with so many leaders who have passion and compassion, and love to pull together and solve the world's problems and do all the right things for kids. And they're doing the hard work every day. I'm going to miss my seeing my LPS family on a daily basis, but I'm really not going away. I live a few blocks from here, and I plan to volunteer in as many places and enjoy this school district for years to come. I wish you well.
I'm Jerry Alviso, and I've been a para for almost 17 years. I worked at Shoal Creek, Donovan, South Valley Middle School, Franklin, Discovery Middle School, and I've been a para as a one-on-one, as sped para, lots of different positions in different buildings. Each job was challenging and fun for the most part, and I want to thank all the administrators and teachers that encouraged me along the way, and I will miss the kids and the school family. I will not miss the time clock. I will not miss waking up this early. In my retirement, my husband's already retired, and we're going to volunteer, we're going to travel, and we're going to spend a lot of time with our kids and grandkids. Thanks.
Just remarking you saw both of my daughters. Lynn Pierce, who made it through both of my daughters, is an art instructor at Lewis and Clark Elementary for grades kindergarten through 5th grade. She began employment with LPS in 1984. She actually worked for LPS and Missouri City for her first 2 years of teaching from 1984 to 1986. She has taught at Lewis and Clark her entire career with Liberty. She and Elaine Morton did split between Lewis and Clark and Donovan from 1986 to 1988. Lynn was born in Kansas City, Kansas at KU Med Center and considers Kansas City, Missouri to be her hometown. Her alma maters are St. Mary's High School, Avila University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Studio Art and Art Education. Her graduate school was also Avila University, where she earned a master's degree for regular elementary education. Special memory. I always like these parts, although I don't know if you're going to top Becky's. One day while on recess duty, an excited little 5th grade girl came running up to me and she said, Miss Pierce, I'm psychotic. I know that tomorrow is your birthday." She had mixed up psychotic with the word psychic. Maybe. Last February, while on my way to my first meeting about retirement, I was hit by a semi-truck.
Truth.
And my car was stuck onto the side of the... Really? Where's Jeremy? Was stuck to the side of the truck and dragged down Church Road for quite a distance. When I got out and saw what was left of my car, the KC police officer commented that I was sure calm to say I had just been hit by a semi, and I replied, "I've been a teacher for 32 years, It takes a lot more than this to get me upset or nervous. Becky, you've lost the crown. Ka-ching. The officer just laughed and shook his head. I felt like I had just recreated a scene from the movie Christmas Vacation. Needless to say, I never made it to the retirement meeting. Come on. Interests and hobbies include drawing, painting, photography, gardening, traveling, and most importantly, her family, friends, and pets. In retirement, she plans to spend more time with her family and friends, and she also plans to do volunteer work for her church and for animal rescue groups in the area. In July, she will be taking her first cruise to Alaska. Lynn Pierce, so glad you made it to the reception. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next up, Miss Angela Rosheim. And like Angie mentioned with Miss Pierce, I've had the opportunity to have both of my students, my children, at Lewis and Clark. So they've been very appreciative of everything that you've done. Library Media Specialist at Lewis and Clark Elementary, began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 1988, has worked for the district for a total of 30 years, was a first grade teacher at Franklin for her first 5 years, then moved to Lewis and Clark, where she had been the library media specialist for the past 25 years. Angela was born in Grand Island, Nebraska, which is her hometown. Her alma maters, the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, where she received a Bachelor of Education. Decorum, D, decorum. Graduate school from the University of Central Missouri with a master's degree in library science. Special memories include working with so many fantastic administrators who are passionate and hardworking teachers and wonderful families and kids. Interests and hobbies include spending time with family. I think this was for D. Nebraska football, reading and crafting, and retirement plans. Angela plans to continue teaching in the area. Anyone that you would like to introduce?
Yes, my husband Nathan and my son Cooper, my daughter Meredith, and my daughter Abby. And then we also have family friends, Sheila Cogley, who helped me raise my children while I was teaching, and her daughter Christine, who was a fabulous babysitter. And of course, my administrators, thanks for being here.
Yeah. Congratulations, Miss Angela Rosheim.
Kathy Weaver. Brought your own cheerleading section.
Yeah. You just like to see me up in front of people.
Oh, excellent. She is a special education resource teacher and has worked for LPS for a total of 5 years, beginning in 2013. She has worked 17 years altogether in education and has been at Ridgeview Elementary for her entire 5 years in LPS. Becky was born in Oklahoma, but considers Kansas City her hometown. Alma maters are UMKC, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Perfect for being a special education resource teacher. Graduate school was Northwest Missouri State University, where she earned a master's degree in teacher leadership. Her special memory is, I had a student who struggled with their behavior. We often went toe-to-toe on issues. One day that student told me, I wish you were my age, because I know if you were, we would be best friends. Interests and hobbies include reading, and she is also a foodie and likes to try new recipes and restaurants. Her retirement plans include moving to Arizona to play with her grandchildren. Congratulations. Oh, yes, please do. I'm so sorry.
My son Jason is here, and it was kind of interesting to find out that he knew several people here that he'd gone to school with. My daughter-in-law Lee, my friend from church Cindy, my twin Kathy. Well, we're actually one of triplet Kathys in our office, and people always go Kathy, and we all go what? And then my wonderful administrator, Dr. Shannon.
last but not least, Dr. James Rolstad. A quick story about Dr. Rolstad. I was in my garage going through some old things and came across some old cassette tapes, if you remember what those are. And my daughter and son saw them, and we came across a Michael Jackson Thriller cassette tape, which if you were not in attendance a couple years ago, I believe your music program was highlighting Michael Jackson among other artists. And so they recognized, they didn't know what a cassette tape was, but they recognized Michael Jackson and said, yeah, Dr. Rolstad played that at the Franklin Elementary Music Concert. So you have left a mark on my children, so for the better.
That's good. That's good.
Dr. James Rolstad, Liberty High School Music Appreciation, as well as Franklin Elementary Music Specialist. Began employment with Liberty Public Schools in 1997. Has worked for Liberty Public Schools for 22 years with a total of 36 years in education. While with LPS, Dr. Rolstad has taught in the following schools: LMS, Alexander Donovan, Lewis and Clark, Lillian Schumacher, Ridgeview, Liberty Oaks, Liberty Academy, Liberty Junior High, Liberty High School, as well as Franklin. Dr. Rolstad was born in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, his hometown. His alma maters include Washington High School in Two Rivers, as well as Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, where he received a Bachelor of Arts in Music Education. Graduate school at California State University Fullerton with a Master of Arts in Music Performance. Midwestern Seminary in Kansas City, Missouri, Master of Divinity with additional certification in church music leadership, as well as the University of Kansas in Lawrence, Missouri Western University in St. Joseph, and Shenandoah University in Winchester, Virginia, where he received a DMA in music education. His special memories. I will always hold this memory as precious. At Franklin Elementary, we have closed our Winter Festival concert for the past 12 years with the song we call Candles in the Window, actually somewhere in my memory by John Williams, to a packed Liberty Performing Arts Center. This song is probably the children's most favorite song of all. All the lights are off in the house, and the children are standing on the perimeter of the auditorium holding battery candles as they sing. And at the end of the song, a kindergartner or first grader comes to the microphone with only a spotlight on the student. And from memory, gives the closing speech to the audience, finishing with the words, "Good night," and thunderous applause. This entire scene will be one of my most cherished memories. Interests and hobbies include snow skiing, wilderness hiking, motorcycle riding, politics, teaching the Enneagram, a personality discovery instrument, science and the brain, and philosophy as it pertains to technology. Retirement plans include outdoor adventures with his wife and 2 grown sons, to be politically active, writing a book, getting his pitch-matching classroom invention patented. We won't give away that secret. Advocating for planet Earth through music, traveling with his wife, and enjoying Sunday evening. No school the next day. I can't even wrap my head around that. And I know you have a guest here with you this evening, so I'll allow you to introduce.
I'd like to introduce my wonderful wife, Jan, and I want to acknowledge my principal, Andy Wright, and one of my colleagues who used to be one of my students, Tiffany Cunningham, and our former from Franklin counselor, Marcia Duke is here, and Mr. Money, Aaron Money. I want to acknowledge you, and my orchestra colleagues, and my other K-5 vocal music people. That's what I'm going to miss terribly. You guys.
Congratulations, Dr. Rolstad.
Thank you very much.
And you Fantastic Four are excused. And if we're good in the back, I think we have one more video clip of some of our retirees.
Hi, I'm Angela Rosheim, and for the past 25 years, I have been the library media specialist at Lewis and Clark. My first 5 years of teaching were spent at Franklin, where I was the first grade teacher. I cannot believe that 30 years have come and gone, but they certainly have. In that time, I have met amazing teachers and administrators that have taught me so much and have helped me grow. I initially want to thank Dr. Steve Fleming and Dr. Barb Whippick for giving me the opportunity to start my teaching career in Liberty. I want to thank Dr. Jim Hammond and Mrs. Carol Makeham's for taking a chance on me and giving me the Lewis and Clark Library Media Specialist job. After working with Dr. Hammond, I have worked with great administrators. Dr. Hammond was great as well. Dr. Josh Fields, Dr. Kyle Palmer, and Mr. Mitch Heiser have just been amazing to work with. One thing that I know about Liberty is that they can hire administrators who trust their teachers to do what's best for kids. In the time that I've been here, I have worked with amazing library media specialists. Many have come and gone through the years, but each one has touched me personally and professionally and helped me become a better person and a better librarian. In the library, I did not work by myself. I had 3 great paraprofessionals, Mrs. Roberta Hines, Mrs. Lynn Haynes, and Mrs. Jess Winnie. All 3 of them are just amazingly good people who worked really hard on behalf of kids. One thing that I know about Liberty and appreciate about Liberty is that they embrace innovation and change, and they support it, and that's been great. I believe in my 30 years that I've been here, I haven't really been told no when I wanted to try something new, and that support has been great. I also want to thank my family, my husband Nathan, and my children Cooper, Meredith, and Abby. Nathan has just done so many things to help me through the years. He has worked on so many projects, carried things in and out of schools, and I appreciate that. My kids have understood how important teaching was to me, and they understood and supported when I was gone in the evenings for PTA events, reading nights, Watchdog Dads, Kindergarten Roundup, all of those things, so I appreciate their support. To my Lewis and Clark community, I wish you the best. I think you are amazing. You work so hard every day on behalf of kids, and even when it's hard, you come back the next day and you keep going. So I may be retiring from Liberty Public Schools, but I will continue to teach because that's what I do. It's my passion, and I just have to keep on doing it. So Liberty, thank you very much. It has been grand.
Hello, my name is Dr. James Ralstead. I've been with the district 22 years and 36 years total in music education, teaching kindergarten through graduate school. I've taught 5th through 9th grade orchestra, 7th, 9th through 12th grade music appreciation, K through 5 music, 9th through 12 music appreciation at the Liberty Academy, 9th through 12 music appreciation for the daily living students at LHS. I've served on Team Liberty for 4 years as a teacher representative. I've been the president of the Liberty NEA for 2 years. Last year, the faculty at Franklin Elementary School chose me as the Teacher of the Year. This was profoundly meaningful to me. I'm grateful for the many years I've been able to teach at Liberty Public Schools. As I was thinking about what I would say today, it occurred to me that a key reason for my gratitude would have to be attributed to several key people who have touched my heart over the years. I first want to acknowledge and thank my wonderful wife, who from the beginning has been my most important supporter. Without her unwavering belief in me and my abilities, I wouldn't be speaking here today. As I reflect on my 22 years with the district, certain people stand out in my heart as those who truly validated me and genuinely affirmed my abilities as a teacher. They deeply impacted me, making a difference in my life and my teaching career. I've had the children in my music classes of several of the following people. I first have to acknowledge D. Rosecrans. He hired me. He put his trust in me from the beginning. Phil Wright, former superintendent. Marty Jacobs, current high school principal. Mary Pat Shellady, former middle school principal. Jackie Haynes, former middle school assistant principal. Gary Barnes, former Board of Education member. Connie Baker, paraprofessional. Dan Mays, former high school orchestra director. Cindy Savela, former middle school band director. Michelle Davis, current high school orchestra director. Mike Brewer, former principal and superintendent. Andy Wright, my current elementary principal. And Darlene Sullivan, a current elementary music teacher. Of all the many schools I have taught at in Liberty Public Schools, I've taught all 22 years at Franklin Elementary School. Whether it's orchestra or K-5 music, to the entire faculty and staff, I'm indebted, as they taught me, what it truly means to be an effective teacher and a loving teacher. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the hundreds of parents and guardians and the thousands of students, past and present. Most of all, I will miss the children and having the opportunity to teach the love of music and life to them. As the storyteller from Minnesota, Garrison Keeler, says, nothing you do for children is ever wasted.
Hi, my name is Linda McCormick and I'm a certified occupational therapy assistant. When I first began working for Liberty Schools, we had a therapy co-op, and not only did I work for Liberty, but I worked for several districts in the area. When the co-op dissolved, I was one of the lucky ones that had the privilege to stay and work for Liberty Schools. I grew up in Liberty, and so I felt very fortunate to work in a familiar place. In fact, I started working at the Early Childhood Center, which was in the old St. James building, which is where I spent my elementary years. When I started working at the ECC, it has not only the preschool, but also some administration offices. We had to share the space, and I can remember Dee Rosecrans used to work on the other side of a partition from me, and I could hear him over there snickering about the funny things the little kids would say. Those are really fun memories. I feel so lucky to be able to do something I enjoy. I've loved working with my students who have many different challenges. They have taught me so much about life. Once a car salesman asked me what's the one thing I would tell people about the kids I work with, and I said, take the time to get to know these kids. They're amazing and they have so much to say. I'm really gonna miss them. The OTs and PTs I work with are phenomenal people. I can't say enough about how hard they work every day to help these kids have the best day they can. It's gonna be really hard to say goodbye to them. I've also been lucky in that I've been able to travel between schools and have worked in almost every school in the district. I've met and become friends with so many wonderful people, and they've made a tremendous impact on my life. I will miss getting to see them every week. So in the end, I want to thank you all for helping me to have the most amazing career, and I hope to get to see you all again soon. Thanks.
Awesome messages. Don't you see now why we worked so hard to try to get those to play tonight? Right? Lynn, add tissues to our items for next year. Okay, those were some great messages. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be sharing those with the community here in the coming days and probably next week. So appreciate those that were willing to share some thoughts with us. Before we wrap up, I do want to announce and give recognition to those that were not able to be with us today. And I will read these names and then we can give a group round of applause. They include Nancy Bagnall, Alexander Donovan Elementary, Diana Block from South Valley Middle School, Julie Chubach from Heritage Middle School, Stacy Davis, South Valley Middle School, Lori Keeler, Discovery Middle School, James McGowan, Liberty Middle School, Sandra McLaren, Early Childhood Center, Terry Messina, Early Childhood Center, Robert Myers, Support Services, Glenda Monachino, Epic Elementary, Elizabeth Mumpower, Warren Hills Elementary, Mary Searcy, Warren Hills Elementary, and Edward Smith, Liberty High School. Let's give them a big round of applause. Before we wrap up then this evening, a couple of reminders for our retirees. Your scrapbooks are just outside these doors, so be sure to get those before you leave if you are in line to receive one of those. And then we will take a group picture on the stage with your bells, group photo here in just moments. So as we wrap things up, again, appreciate Dr. Tucker and Angie Reed being here to introduce our retirees. Also want to recognize Mr. A.J. Bird for joining us from the Liberty Board of Education. Thanks for being here, A.J. Want to thank all of our leaders in the district, and I see a lot of them in the back and mixed into our audience this evening, and just want to thank everyone for being here to make this a special event here this evening. So hope everyone has a great rest of this evening, great rest of the school year, and a great upcoming summer. Thanks for being with us.
Pizza. Pizza wins.